Right now, we want to bring in TNT's Steve Kerr to talk about the tentative deal involving Chris Paul going from the New Orleans Hornets to the Los Angeles Clippers. Steve, welcome to the program. Great to have you here on Game Time. What are your thoughts on this trade? Do you like it from the Clippers side, and do you like it from the Hornets side?
Well, I like it for both sides. I think the Clippers are finally relevant. And how about the turn of events in L.A. the last 10 days or so? I mean, the Lakers thinking they're getting him, all of a sudden, but the Clippers get him, and the Lakers, in the meantime, trade Odom as a result of his being unhappy and get nothing back. Man, it looks like the Clippers are actually poised to kind of take over that town. So very interesting. And then on the Hornets side, they did really well. I didn't know if they could get both Eric Gordon and that Minnesota pick, but they got them both, and so they have some nice young assets there now.
Steve, it's Mike Fratello. First, my concern is this photo an airbrush photo that there's been a lot of work.
Do I look really handsome? I can't
Extremely handsome. Extremely handsome.
It was a good hair day for Steve there, wasn't it?
But here's what I want to ask about. They have a little bit of extra money, the Clippers, about $14 million
I think that's right.
Underneath the cap. What would you do? Do you go out and try and use it now, or do you take that money and look down the road at the end of the season to free agents that may be available then?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you got to kind of take a long look at it. Their guard situation is a little bit of a logjam now. You still have Mo Williams. You've got Chauncey Billups. I would expect those two guys to slide over and play some two. They're both good scorers and kind of shoot first point guards anyway. So maybe they can slide over and play on the wing. But I think long term you're going to have to replace Eric Gordon with a full-time two guard, and that's where they'll probably end up using that money, whether it's right now or in the future, or more than likely they'll probably hang on to it and see what they can do and take their time. This whole process this week has been so chaotic for everybody in the league that I think it probably makes sense for the Clippers to kind of sit back and let things simmer a little bit before they do much else.
Steve, it's Aldrich here. You were in Phoenix. You had a good team, and you guys decided to roll the dice and bring in Shaq. I'm just thinking from the dynamic of shaking a team up and bringing in a big personality like a Shaquille O'Neal. Now the Clippers are bringing in, Chris Paul's not the same big personality that Shaq is, but he's a very gregarious guy. He's going to get a lot of attention. How do you weigh the dynamic of chemistry in the locker room with him going forward with Blake and some of the other pieces that they have?
Well, I think the difference is that Chris Paul's 26, and the Clippers have not been very good. They've got great young talent, but he's the guy who's going to take them to the next step. We were in Phoenix. We were trying to get to the final step. We had been good for several years, and we tried to swing for the fences, and obviously it didn't work out. But those are the risks you take in this business. So for the Clippers, to me, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you get Chris Paul. You put him with Blake Griffin. I heard you guys talking about the lobs to Jordan and Griffin. It's going to be a show. It's going to be so much fun to watch. And this is a franchise that has been down for so long, and they finally have a chance to not only be relevant in the NBA, but maybe even take over the city. And that's pretty amazing with the Lakers right down the hall.
Hey, Steve, with what's left of your evening, I encourage getting a picture of Coach Fratello, maybe putting an old style, maybe a Raleigh Fingers mustache on it or something like that.
It's shocking that Mike would actually disparage me in any way, shape, or form.
And by the way, Steve's on the phone with us. Steve, I don't know if you have any idea. Coach is wearing a Los Angeles Clippers baseball hat right now.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
He's always been a front runner.
Thank you for noticing.
Hey, Steve, we appreciate the time. We will be enjoying your stuff all year on TNT, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys, thanks.